Hey guys, welcome to Two Toe Tags Metal Reviews, and we had decided we're gonna start, a series, it's gonna be.
Yeah.
And what we're gonna do is, I'm gonna try to get him into some bands that he's never really listened to, and he's gonna try to get me into some bands that I've never really listened to, and we're gonna kind of do it in the same format where we do like a first impressions, we listen to the album, do a first impressions, then give it a week, and then do a final album review. So to kick it off, I'm going to try to get him into a band he's never listened to before, or at least listened to very, very minimally. And the band that I'm choosing off the bat is a band that, one of my favorite bands of all time, let me just say this. It's a band we actually reacted to one of the videos recently, and the album I'm choosing is one of my favorite metal albums of all time, and I'm talking about Cradle of Filth and their album titled Damnation and a Day. Damnation and a Day basically falls kind of in the middle of the pack as far as their discography. But man, oh man, is it a sick album. My favorite album, Midian is up there with it, but Damnation, for me, just edges it out slightly. So I think it's going to be a good album. That's another reason why I picked it. Not just because it's my favorite, but I think it's a good album for you to listen to, and I think you'll be able to appreciate the writing of the album, the song structures, the overall sound of the album is just so epic to me. I hope that translates to you as well, and I hope you share the same opinion after we listen to it. But this is one of the best albums, in the metal genre as far as my opinion goes. It's the one that basically made me love Cradle of Filth. It's just a god tier album to me, and like I said, I hope that translates to you. So let's go listen to it. I'm hyped to listen to it. I've heard this album a million times already. This is an album that's been in my CD player, my MP3 players, everything, okay, all my playlists. Not for him though, so we're gonna listen to it for his first time.
My first time.
He's gonna pop his Damnation in a Day cherry, and then we'll be back here so he can give you his first impressions, and I'll just ooh and ah over it like I already have been.
Pretty much.
And that'll be that.
All right.
So we'll be back in just a bit.
Check it out.
Alright guys, we're back. We just got done listening to Damnation and a Day by Cradle of Filth, and I'm pretty much just going to pass the floor over to Tvfish here because I spent the first half of this video blabbing about it, and this is basically his first impressions on it anyway.
Yeah.
So, what do you have to say about it? It was a long album.
It was, yeah.
But
that was a real trip, man. That was a lot going on in this album. I got a lot of notes. There's just so much happening. This album has a lot of content. It's a little over an hour. So, it's sitting through it from beginning to end. You gotta have a little bit of time on your hands. But out the gate, this album hit me with a sack of bricks in my head. Boom. I'm on the ground. Holy shit. Because the first track, Bruise Upon the Silent Moon, builds so big, and then when the Promise of Fever comes in, it just crashes down.
Kills you.
Fucking kills you. Perfect song. I'm like, oh my god.
Such a badass song.
Everything's going on. I'm just...
Badass.
My mind was exploding during that song. Oh my god.
Okay.
And then what I felt with the album generally, which I don't know if it was because I was kind of getting burned out from, just how long it was going. I felt like it started in a really godly high place, was there for a little bit, then it dipped down and it was still in a high place, but then it kind of plateaued. Near the end of the album, I'm like, okay, it's a cool song. They were cool songs, but none of them hit me as hard as Promise of Fever did, because that was just smashing me in the head. But there was a lot of really interesting things that I heard, because it's black metal, you already have an idea of what it sounds like, but some of the softer elements really caught me by surprise. In Serpent Tongue, there's a guitar effect which I like to call puddles, or a watery kind of guitar. I don't know what the actual term for it is, but I heard that at the beginning. I'm like, oh my god, because I love that sound. It's one of my favorite kind of guitar sounds. And I heard, I'm like, what? They're doing that? I was caught by surprise. There was a lot of surprises when it came to that. There were some tracks where the keyboard would do these kind of weird, it's hard to describe. Like
there were weird noises. There's
weird noises.
They're kind of sprinkled throughout the whole album.
Yeah, and I liked that.
It
It was really freshening. Like
Yeah,
you'd hear like, oh, like that's there. It caught me. You know, it would catch my attention. It was really hard to choose a worst track because, you know, when it came to like songs that I weren't huge on, I still gave them, you know, a good mental rating because they were still really cool. A song like Hurt and Virtue, I thought was the single when I heard it. Because I'm like, okay.
I tried to make him guess what the single was.
I thought it was either this one or Doberman. But with Hurt and Virtue, I heard a lot more progressive stuff near the beginning. I'm like, okay, maybe this one will be real people into it, whatever. Mm-hmm. But I found a lot, like with this song, halfway through it completely changed. Like it was a completely different song. Absolutely nothing from the beginning was relevant in the end, which is not really a terrible thing. It just kind of was inconsistent for me because it's like, well, what the hell? Like you guys made a statement and then completely changed.
You might as well make two songs. One song that sounds like two songs.
Might as well. Yeah, you're right.
Still a good song though.
Yeah, it was still good. Like I said,
I liked it.
Now Doberman. Let's see what I wrote about that.
Doberman Pharaoh.
Doberman Pharaoh. The harmonies were really cool with the orchestral stuff in the background. I found that interesting and something not as usual as you would hear with orchestral background harmonies. I feel like the song kind of dragged on a bit. There are some longer songs. The longest song I think might be this one actually. It's 6:19.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Which is not overly long. Of course, there are songs that are way longer, but I feel like with what was happening in the song, kind of just kept going. I'm like, okay, is it over? Like it's just kind of the same thing. Going and going, but there was a lot going on, and throughout the album there were multiple interludes, multiple softer interludes, orchestral, that went through. The first one, of course, being the first track, A Bruise Upon the Silent Moon, which I already commented on being huge, builds the building up so much to have it be busted down in the next track.
Yep.
The next one was, I think, Damned in Any Language, which I felt gave the same vibe as the first track, just didn't do it as well. So it was good. It just like didn't live up to the same feelings that the first track gave me.
Do you think it's necessary, or do you think it's overkill to have? Because there's 4 of them. There's one at the beginning, 2
in the middle, and then the last
one
track
at the end. Yeah. Do you think it's overkill, or do you think it's not kind of necessary to kind of break up the pace a little bit?
It really depends on the context of the album. I'm not sure if this is a concept album or if this is an album that just has general similar themes, because you can use that. You can use those to split apart sections of a story, or you can use those to split apart, concepts like, okay, this is the album that mentions this is the album that will talk about this. Like you can use it to cut up into sections, which is fair. I don't know at the moment. I'll take the time to go look at the lyrics, look at that, see what it's about, to find out why they do that. But it's also effective to break up the energy, because there's a lot of really big energy in this album. So I felt like, it's fair to break it up every once in a while.
Yeah.
Thank God for the Suffering could have been the last track. Like you could listen to that, and then if the album ended there, I wouldn't be complaining.
Yeah.
Like it seemed fitting, but then there were the 2 tracks after it. So that was interesting. Differently, but the more I listen to it, like I said, it's gonna give me a better perspective on this album as a whole. If I like wake up and I'm totally woke throughout the whole thing, then I'll get a better perspective on it. But I really like the energy from the beginning. Like that just was incredible.
I also think not only being new to the album, but being new to Cradle of Filth in general, I think the more you listen to the album throughout the week, you'll start to pick out certain songs one by one and notice different things in different songs. I think it probably all sounded kind of very similar.
To an extent. There were a lot of really different things they did. There was one song that was really thrashy. Yeah, it was President from the Poison Hearted. Hearted. That one was really thrashy, and it was like a completely different style for them. So they had a lot of variance in their sound, which I liked a lot. Yeah. That was really cool to see. But so we're gonna give it a week. I'm gonna listen. You listen to it enough, I bet. I'm gonna be listening to this all week, and we're gonna come back with our review of Damnation in a Day by Cradle of Filth. So stay tuned. I'm Tvfish.
And I'm Vile Self. Thank you guys for watching this video. And come back next week and see what this guy gives the album. You guys probably already know what I'm going to say about it in the review. Because I love this album. This album's like, boom, top shelf for me. But yeah, come back and we'll see what he thinks about it after giving it a week of listening. See you guys.
See ya.